of everybody equally.
Try that.
No.
Your relationship with all your children is different. Your relationship with all your friends is different. There are ones that do different things that have different fulfillments and stuff like that. It's like you find higher love, and then everybody just slaps you down for it. I'll tell you what, there's a divine aspect about my relationship with Robyn.
For years, the Browns have maintained that they struggled with faith, love, and the challenge of establishing a plural lifestyle in the spotlight. On television, they seemed cohesive, breaking into tears, sharing ambitions and vows. Kody and Robyn especially portrayed themselves as being responsible for keeping the broken-down family together. But beneath the smiles and produced, airbrushed episodes, another tale was unfolding, a tale not of religion or harmony, but of dollars, accounts, and secret transfers. Because as newly released court documents and inside reports now show, the so-called family pot wasn't what it appeared. Millions of dollars passed through it for years, but rather than going toward the shared dream, much of it was apparently diverted into bank accounts controlled by only two individuals, Kody and Robyn. This is not family drama. This is a money scandal that is now rocking the very foundations of all that the Browns purported to believe. And the most surprising aspect of it all, it wasn't Christine, or Meri, or cameras that exposed the truth. It was Janelle, constant, rational Janelle, who finally got up and demanded answers. With papers in hand, financial records, and the guts to battle, she pulled the truth into the light. The courtroom became the stage for the family's greatest unraveling. Kody's charm, Robyn's tears, Janelle's quiet strength. Suddenly, none of it could hide the paper trail. What you're about to hear is a breakdown of how the lies collapsed, from the Vegas homes to the Coyote Pass land, from secret LLCs to offshore accounts. This is not gossip. This is evidence. This story in front of every Sister Wives fan who needs the truth. Because this is the actual tale of the Brown family's financial scandal and how, piece by piece, Kody and Robyn's lies were shattered. The Brown family has long claimed their struggles were about faith, love, and the challenge of creating a plural life in the spotlight. On television, the family presented itself as whole, shedding tears, making promises, and sharing dreams together. Kody and Robyn specifically cast themselves as the glue that was keeping the broken family intact. But beneath the smiles and carefully crafted shows, another tale was unfolding. A tale not of faith or unity, but of dollars, accounts, and secret transfers. Because as new court documents and insider accounts now show, the supposedly family pot was never actually what it appeared to be. Millions of dollars passed through it throughout the years, but rather than being spent on the dream of all, much of it was allegedly funneled into accounts in the control of only two individuals, Kody and Robyn. This isn't family drama alone. This is a money scandal that is now rocking the very foundation of all the Browns said they believed in. And the most surprising of all, it wasn't Christine or Meri or even cameras that revealed the truth. It was Janelle, level-headed, rational Janelle, who finally got up and said enough. Equipped with documents, bank statements, and the strength to battle on, she pulled the truth out into the air. The courtroom became the stage for the family's greatest unraveling. Kody's charm, Robyn's tears, Janelle's quiet strength. Suddenly, none of it could hide the paper trail. What you're about to hear is a breakdown of how the lies collapsed. From the Vegas homes to the Coyote Pass land, from secret LLCs to offshore accounts. This is not gossip. This is evidence in getting this story out to all those Sister Wives fans who need the truth. Because this is the true tale of the Brown family's money debacle. And how, piece by piece, Kody and Robyn's deceit came crumbling down. To learn how the scandal unfolded, we must return to Las Vegas in 2011. The Browns had just escaped Utah, citing a need to escape anti-polygamy laws. On T, it appeared a new beginning. A daring move into a shiny new metropolis. But reality was a lot more complex. Rather than purchasing a humble family house, Kody arranged for the acquisition of 4 individual houses, aligned in a cul-de-sac, like a beacon of togetherness. On television, it was presented as progress, a stability dream. What wasn't revealed was how tenuous that dream actually was. Kody's earnings were irregular. Christine and Meri had side income, but it was irregular. Robyn came into the family with debt. The only one with good credit, a steady job, and financial history to support monolithic loans was Janelle. Insiders validate that Janelle's pay stubs, retirement fund, and credit rating form the basis of the financing. Had she not been involved, those 4 houses would never have gotten approved. And that is where the first deception started. When the Browns did finally sell those houses years later, they became rich. Documents reveal the sales brought profits of low millions. Kody assured the family, and the cameras, that money was fed back into the dream of Coyote Pass. But subpoenaed bank records tell a different story. Rather than flowing into a joint account, much of that cash flowed directly into Dabzark Entertainment, LLC, which only Kody and Robyn had signatory authority over, and from there, big chunks vanished into accounts others couldn't reach. Janelle figured her profits from her sale of her house in Vegas had gone into her share of Coyote Pass. So did Christine. But the paper trail showed otherwise. One such transfer, well more than $200,000, was transferred out in a matter of days after Janelle's home in Vegas sold. The memo line on the wire transfer, just operating fund. Operating on whose behalf? That became the question at the center of the scandal. At trial, Janelle's lawyers presented the evidence. She had contributed most to maintaining the dream of Vegas, but her gains didn't go into her account. They found their way under Kody and Robyn's management. The judge surveyed the paperwork. Then Kody, Mr. Brown, according to your testimony, these funds went to family property. The books indicate otherwise. It was the first official fissure in Kody and Robyn's financial narrative. And as the Vegas winnings began to unravel, it primed the next, even larger revelation. What actually transpired at Coyote Pass? Coyote Pass was meant to be the Browns' eternity dream. On television, Kody called it their promised land, a large estate in Flagstaff, where each of the wives would have her own house side by side, in fellowship of faith and family. Behind the scenes, however, it was a money pit, and in the end the focal point of the scandal that led to the expose. It was bought in 2018 for more than $800,000 in lots. It all appeared equitable on paper, every wife given a share. But what really happened was that the land was not paid outright. There was a huge loan to be serviced, and someone had to service that loan. That someone again was Janelle. Subpoenaed bank statements reveal her steady streams of income from her state employment, subsequently her entrepreneurial activities, and even 400 wunk distributions were not only directed towards settling her parcel, but were also being applied to making the loan payments on parcels in Kody's name, Robyn's name, and even Meri's for Janelle. This was presented as an investment in the family's future. Kody assured her that the money would equate into equity, her rightful share of Coyote Pass, but in fact, she was paying for land which she would subsequently be informed that she had no equity in. The most incriminating bit. Wire transfers tracked by forensic accountants indicated that money designated for Coyote Pass was diverted into private accounts held by Kody and Robyn. There was one transaction of almost $75,000 that coincided with the down payment on Kody and Robyn's Flagstaff estate. Meanwhile, while Janelle resided in an RV in the dirt without plumbing, so-called family funds had been diverted to put Kody and Robyn in a luxury home. And when Janelle challenged Kody on constructing her own house, his reaction shocked her, and subsequently the court. He reputedly told her that money was for the family pot. If you want to build, get your own financing. That is, years of her work were washed out with one offhand remark. The judge, hearing this, leaned forward and stated, "So, Mr. Brown, the plaintiff's money not only purchased parcels in other people's names, but was routed for your own property." Kody's attorney attempted to spin it as all communal, but the papers spoke for themselves. Kody and Robyn had used Janelle's faith and family cohesion to acquire assets solely for themselves. Robyn sobbed in the gallery as Janelle's lawyers pulled out the paper trail. For the first time, it was apparent. Coyote Pass was not only delayed, it was a scam. And the court wasn't finished. The following set of filings would disclose an even more significant secret accounts directly linked to Robyn. Robyn spent years playing the part of the blameless bystander. On Sister Wives, she was frequently distraught, tearful, and detached from the family's finances. She presented herself as the mediator, the one who relied on Kody to take care of the tough stuff. Janelle's lawyers delivered a bombshell. Ariella Holdings, LLC, a company quietly registered in Robyn's name. On paper, nothing more than a technicality, but forensic accountants made a startling find. This account wasn't inactive, it was active. Banking documents revealed deposits of more than $700,000 rolling into Ariella Holdings across 3 years. And those deposits weren't arbitrary. They were tied directly to the sale of the Vegas properties and money specifically designated for Coyote Pass. When questioned, Robyn welled up in tears on the stand. She insisted she didn't know what Ariella Holdings was. She claimed she simply signed the documents Kody presented before her. But the judge wasn't convinced. She read from one of the documents where Robyn was identified as the managing member. The judge's tone pierced the courtroom. "Mrs. Brown, it gets more and more difficult for this court to believe you didn't know your role." Robyn wept, adamant. She believed it was just another family business. Kody attempted to intervene, stating, "We did what we had to do." And then there was the smoking gun. Wire transfers indicated cash departing from Ariella Holdings and appearing in accounts that were being used to cover personal bills, credit card payments, a deposit on a high-end SUV, and big checks made payable directly to contractors who labored on Kody and Robyn's Flagstaff home. The courtroom fell quiet while the papers were displayed on the screen. Robyn had her head in her hands and couldn't meet anyone's eye. Kody's face reddened in a rage, not at the proof, but at being trapped by it. Janelle remained unblinking, her arms crossed, witnessing the unraveling of a money web she had long believed, but never been able to substantiate. This was now no longer simply about community funds or mismanagement. This was about hiding, and the judge made it extremely clear. "Mr. and Mrs. Brown, what we see here transcends sloppy bookkeeping. This court sees willful diversion of money. The term concealment does apply." That one word sent a shiver down the courthouse. Concealment meant the trial could extend beyond damages. It suggested something much greater, possible criminal prosecution. And as the words reverberated in the room, Robyn's weeping only intensified. The cracks in Kody and Robyn's well-rehearsed story were now well and truly open, but the big one was yet to come. The courtroom would next be told about the missing millions that no one could explain. The courtroom was already charged, but what followed propelled the whole case into perilous new heights. Janelle's lawyers disclosed their latest, most damaging revelation: over $2.3 million in family money could not be accounted for. The forensic accountant, who was a cool but meticulous witness, presented the evidence, beginning with the sales of the Vegas homes, through the family income of years of earnings, and into the alleged family pot. The math just didn't work. "We followed every dollar that came in," the accountant said. "From show contracts, book deals, speaking fees, and real estate sales. The money going out was more than the reported income by millions. You cannot account for the difference with normal expenses. Rather, the trail leads to payments into accounts held only by Kody and Robyn." The judge leaned forward. "And these payments, do you have details?" The accountant nodded and pulled out a binder of exhibits. $400,000 transferred into Ariella Holdings, LLC within weeks of Christine's Vegas residence selling. $250,000 cashed out of a Dabzark account, paid off Robyn's private credit cards on the spot. $600,000 distributed over several accounts in amounts small enough not to be automatically reported. A technique commonly linked with intentional concealment. Kody leaned forward in his chair, his jaw clenching. Defending himself when asked to do so, he began to spew out his typical diatribe. "We're all one family, one unit. This wasn't about people, it was about survival. I channeled money where it was best spent." But the judge was unmoved. She interrupted him. "Mr. Brown, sending money where it is needed doesn't account for missing millions. These are not family spending. These are personal spending on your and Mrs. Brown's watch." The gallery gasped when the accountant produced the most explosive transfer of all. More than $700,000 sent to a private investment account that, by the registration forms, named Robyn the beneficiary. Robyn cried openly, claiming she didn't know. She explained Kody had handled the paperwork, and she simply trusted him, but the judge's reaction was merciless. Mrs. Brown, ignorance is not a defense. Your name is on every single one of these documents. Your tears don't erase signatures. It was then, at the height of drama, that the courtroom realized the Brown family gate was not merely a matter of trust betrayed. It was a massive fraud involving millions lost and evidence leading unmistakably to Kody and Robyn. Then came the cliffhanger moment. The judge looked straight at Kody before adjourning. This court will have to decide if what we have in front of us is just a civil issue, or if it is tantamount to criminal fraud. The room exploded. Robyn cried even harder. Kody's face turned red, and Janelle sat quietly, recognizing the storm was just starting.